Hey gang, welcome to another episode of our show. This is day one of the all-weekend thrash. Step number one, we're going to get this thing running better than it did in the last episode. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull that off of there. We're going to yank all the plugs. We're going to put some engine fogger in here. We're going to change the oil because a lot of people think that it's that the distributor got wet, there's water in the system. Myself, I think water got into the engine because this roof sometimes has a leak in really bad weather, and 2 weeks ago we had really bad weather. So let's crank this thing over just a little bit to see if this thing will start, crank, or do what. So let's get that. Yeah, so let's pull the plugs. Alright, the plugs have been removed, so let's hit the key and see what she sounds like. Fuel line has also been removed, so there's not going to be any fuel dumping into it. Definitely something in that cylinder. A lot of water. Alright, so we decided we're going to have to change the oil in this thing. So we're going to push the car outside and just let her drain the oil and just let her drip into the pan pretty much overnight. So it's not supposed to rain tomorrow, so we can get away with that. And I don't want to be laying in engine oil, so we're going to move it outside to do that. So let's start pushing her back. Of the all-weekend thrash. After making some phone calls, I've decided I'm going to yank this engine out and I'm going to rebuild this engine. However, I got an engine donated to the show. My brother-in-law's got a Chevelle. Well, he got rid of the Chevelle, but he kept the engine. So we're going to put the Chevelle engine in here just temporarily until I get this one done. Hopefully, we can still make the Trans Am Nationals. We don't know yet because I don't think I have headers, or we have headers, but we'll find out. So I apologize in advance. There's going to be a lot of time-lapse footage because we're doing a lot of work today. So if you want to know how to take anything off, just watch any of my videos in reverse. Everything we put on is coming off. So let's get to cracking. look at this thing. It's a 327 punched out to a 383 stroker. Got a nice Edelbrock intake manifold on there. Distributor. No starter. No fuel pump. No headers. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of work to put this into my car. But I have this engine. But I think if mine only needs head gaskets, I think it would be easier, quicker to just go ahead and replace the head gaskets in my engine. Well, this ends day 2, Saturday, of the all-weekend thrash. We got the engine pretty much ready to pull. We went and we picked up the Chevelle engine. We're going to run some numbers on it, see what parts we need to get it before we put it in here. And depending on the cost to put the Chevelle engine in the Trans Am versus rebuilding the water pump I have in here, we're going to weigh it out tomorrow and figure out what we're going to do. So, meanwhile, we'll go clean up and call it a night. See you guys in the morning. Well, folks, here it is, day 3, Sunday of the all-weekend thrash. The last-ditch effort to get this Trans Am to the Trans Am Nationals. So, this is where we've come to. Alright. The engine is ready to be pulled. All we got to do is disconnect the transmission, the headers, and the frame bolts, and we can yank this engine. However, herein lies the rub. The other engine needs so much work, not work, but it's going to need a bunch of nickel and dime stuff, ordering parts, and parts may not be in time. So I think it'd be just, at this point, I think it would be easier. Remove the intake manifold, pull the valve covers off, and see if we can't find out why this engine was full of water. I'm hoping rainwater got in. My brothers agree that it could be an intake manifold gasket that had gone bad, which is a special order part, or head gaskets, which the local auto parts store has in stock. So let's start tearing into this and see why she was full of water. Okay, well, we think this was our issue. We found a few breakthrough points where the water had eroded away through here. Some water was resting along here. You see that there's breakthrough here and here. And these gaskets were dry rotted. So I think what we really need is an intake manifold kit. We're going to have to get a hold of our good friends over at Summit, because we know how much you guys love riding with us down to Summit. See if they have this in stock, and if they have it in stock, we're going on a road trip. Alright gang, we just came back from Summit. We got back, put my camera on the charger, and while it was charging, I decided to go ahead and clean all the residue and the dirt off of the intake manifold so it's nice and clean. That's why I'm disheveled. So we're going to clean this engine up and hopefully put the new gasket in today. If not, when that sun sets, I'm done for the day. So I don't know if we're going to make the Trans Am Nationals as of yet, but we're still going to try. I got a lot of work ahead of me. My brother's here. My other brother was here. They're both wanted in 37 states between the two of them. That's why they don't like being on camera. Let's get scraping this old gasket off of here and hopefully get this new one on. Looks like a pretty good test fit. Yeah. Well, as you can see, we got lint-free rags inside the engine so they don't leave any residue. I think we're going to wrap this up for the weekend. Sun's getting really low. We got all the parts we need. Unfortunately, we're not going to make the Trans Am Nationals as we had planned, as we had hoped. I will still be there. So if you recognize me from the video, feel free to stop and say hi. As always, like, subscribe, tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.
Tell your enemies. Yep, that's the thing to say. Dinner's done. It's time to come home.